Music is subjective. If you stan any of the groups I mention in this video, that's totally valid and I absolutely get the appeal. Regardless, this video is an outlet for me and is based on music, which is personal to individuals. Me disliking a song doesn't make it bad. I have been pretty frustrated with my shrinking stan list since I practically replaced half the groups I stan, so I wanted to talk about it. That's about it. I'm not coming for your faves or something. I just want to talk about it. Stray Kids. I was a stay for a decent amount of time, and I even voted for them on Kingdom, despite back then not being in my strongest stay era. But yeah, after Sunderus, I dropped them, and ever since, I never really got interested in them again. I'll still like their comebacks once in a few, but I definitely stopped vibing through every release of theirs. I have a lot to say about why I unstand them, but I'll start with my biggest issue: music. They always had a B-sides issue, with most of their B-sides sounding kind of samey, with that stupid Eddie EDM being too prominent in their early stuff, but we'd get a really tasty B-side every time, and those were mini albums, so I was accepting of it, especially because I liked all their title tracks before God's Menu, and B-sides stand out such as Grow Up, Third Eye, Awkward Silence, 03, 25, Maze of Memories, 19, and so on. I can't believe the same group who made Freeze gave us the existential crisis R&B masterpiece 19. Like, what happened in there? Anyways, yeah, their albums now feel like the songs are just randomly dumped in with whatever leftovers they have. The only cohesive project of theirs in their entire discography is Ordinary, and I kind of got tired of standing a group that doesn't give me albums I can listen to top to bottom after they started releasing full albums. And then I even stopped liking their singles. The second reason is the unfortunate state of their fan base. It's extremely toxic and they fight people non-stop. I couldn't be in the fandom because it was genuinely stressing me out, so I took a step back, and after I stopped seeing what the members were up to through fans, I kind of forgot about them, especially since I wasn't returning to their music. And that was that. I like Chick Chick Boom a lot and I like it. It is definitely a standout, but the rest are easy skips personally, so nothing new for me. And Stray Kids, yeah, not gonna stand them again unless they suddenly start making music that appeals to me more, but I doubt that since they self-produce and they barely have time nowadays. I still like the members and I wish them the best, but I don't like the entitlement their fans have towards people who don't stand them. Nobody has to listen to Stray Kids, like them, or stand them. I don't like that whenever I say that I don't stand them anymore, people are so surprised or angry. I'm not entitled to stand Stray Kids. I don't dislike them. I wish them the best. I just don't vibe with their music. Enhypen. This must have been the same for a lot of people because their numbers dropped after Blessed Cursed, and yeah, I was one of the people who tuned out. They literally made the best boy group music for a while there, and the concept work was insanely good. The vampire thing ate down, and the concept photos with the music videos were actually exemplary work of concepts in K-pop. Like that night thing, the night print thing, oh my god, that was insane. Anyways, we all know what happened after Tame dashed. The vampire thing was dropped pretty much, and the music quality started dwindling in the titles at least. And Hypen's B-sides were always bordering forgettable pops with other genres mixed in, or actually memorable good pop with other genres mixed in, so basically inoffensive. And the title carries the mantle of intriguing people enough to get them to listen to albums, which they did for a while, till Pass the Mic. Pass the Mic is my most hated K-pop song because it's so not Enhypen whatsoever. I don't understand why a group who was making music that was the opposite of noise decided to release a Stray Kids reject, but whatever, it's hype. I do think the B-sides ironically were their best on Pass the Mic, but after that they just dropped the vampire concepts and the titles started being not cohesive at all. Enhypen had no identity, and I was not excited about having to force myself to like an entirely new song and genre every time they dropped, so I stopped standing. I liked Bite Me and the B-sides, but that's about it after Blessed Cursed. I don't care for Enhypen anymore, and I don't even know how the members are doing now since it's been forever since I dropped them, and they never really intrigued me again. The members, while I stand, were also at the peak of their phobic jokes period, and I wasn't comfortable with that, especially since I saw them voting Suno out on Island live, and I wasn't cool with that spread continuing in the group. It made watching content really hard for me personally. And I also think among fourth generation boy groups, they're the least entertaining in variety. Basically, nothing about them was doing it for me, and that slowly ended up making me not care at all. I still smile if I see Jungwon on my timeline on YouTube or on TikTok, but like, I don't know anything else that's up with them. Twice. I so wish Twice kept releasing banger albums because Formula of Love is the most cohesive and the best pop album K-pop ever gave us, right after their own Taste of Love album, which is also top 3 K-pop pop albums. I love that Twice gave us a perfect pop funk album and disco album and a perfect summer album with no skips on either, but after the feels, they started releasing title tracks and uncohesive albums with sometimes downright bad B-sides. I didn't like anything from One Spark or Set Me Free, and I only liked Basics and Talk That Talk from that comeback. It doesn't help that the Cheong thing happened and left a bitter taste in my mouth. Onces are extremely annoying, and I was coping with it despite them being downright evil to ITZY and Stray Kids for no reason for literal years, because I like Twice's music and their members so much, but after the music stopped pulling me in, I just stopped wanting to be anywhere near Onces. When people talk about twinks and gay men who stan girl groups, it's Onces. Like, I'm serious, that fandom is horribly in an entirely different way from Stays and ARMYs. It's gay men who hate women and use women as shields. Twice as soloists still make great music, which I tune into and support, which makes this kind of weird. I unstand a group, but I stand a soloist and subunits in Twice. I'll still watch Time for to Twice every now and then, and I will always love most of these girls, but the music isn't doing it for me. Plus, they mostly tour nowadays, and there's not much to bite into. I like Twice, but I don't see myself sending them again anytime soon if they don't start picking up better B-sides and title tracks. G-I-dle or I-dle. Let me just say before I start that before Super Lady, I used to ult G-I-dle, and I'm totally open to re-standing them unlike the other groups in this video. I unstand I-dle solely because they had 2 comebacks where I found none of the songs good and I really disliked the title tracks. This has literally never happened to me with them before. And this year, I didn't like anything they released, but I used to like majority of their B-sides, and I used to stream their albums like a lot. I only disliked Señorita of their title tracks, and even then, I could stomach it because I liked the performance aspect of it. But Super Lady and Klaxon are both turtle turn-offs for me. Super Lady barely has any melodic parts I like and is not listenable to me in terms of streaming. I can't stream the song, it doesn't sound good in my headphones. I dislike it so much that liking Fate, the B-side, doesn't offset that for me. I cannot stream too, it's just a bad album. Klaxon and its accompanying EP are just boring, which is a slap in the face after the previous summer bops I-dle gave us and their previous lackluster comeback. I could be wrong and I-dle could drop their best comeback next time, but till that happens, I won't be sad or keeping up with them because the music isn't pulling me in, and stunning musicians without music, despite being a common thing in K-pop, is not my thing. I will tune in next time, but if I'm disappointed, then it's kind of over for me and G-I-dle. And that concludes this video, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have anything to say, please be respectful while saying it, as I am willing to have discussions and change my mind. Please have a good day and night.